Hi, my name is Jelte and thank you for clicking on this video. So before we get into all of that cool stuff behind me, let me first really quickly give you all of the reasons that I make this video in the first place. So first off, I'm obviously proud of what I've created here and I would like to share that. Secondly, maybe you can get some inspiration for your setup out of mine. And thirdly, it gives some people who are interested the chance to get a little peek behind the curtain. So with that said, let's get into it. Let's start with the foundation of this setup, the desk. When me and my family moved into this house, I knew I wanted a huge desk, but big desks are expensive. So we decided to build it ourselves. This desk is made out of 3 2.5 meter long planks and is in total about 60 centimeters deep, which is not very deep, but I like it this way. We left a little 2 centimeter gap at the back here for cables to pass through. There are no legs because the whole desk is mounted to the wall. And well, this is my favorite part about this desk because it gives the impression that it's actually like floating, and that's awesome. But there are also some downsides, and the biggest downside that I encountered is that sticky stuff doesn't work on rough wood. So normally I would use, focus please, yes, I would use these little things to attach my cables to the other side of my desk, but that doesn't work because these things are supposed to stick to your desk. And well, right now it will for a second, but if you hang something over it, it will absolutely get loose within a few hours. And I would attach all my cables, and 1 hour later everything would be going to shit. So I had to do it a different way, and I came up with all these weird hooks that are doing a really amazing job, but it was just a bit annoying. I suppose that this is the most obvious part of my setup. These two humongous monitors. To be honest, I think that monitors are really boring to talk about, so I'll keep it short. I have two. Previously, I had 2 of these little monitors. Recently, I got this huge one. This huge one is better in like every way. First off, this one is 1080p and this one is 4K, so just high resolution, more pixels, better, right? This one is 8-bit color and this one is 10-bit, which just means that you can see more different colors, I suppose. I can't really see the difference myself, but it is supposed to be better for color grading. And last but not least, this one is a lot more bright, and that I can absolutely notice. Well, they're both mounted on this big arm right here, which I love because it means that I only have one arm and I don't need to use the stands that came with it because those have a huge footprint, and because of this stand I have a lot more free space on my desk. So in most setup videos that I have seen, peripherals, so your keyboard and mouse, are a bit of an afterthought, but in my opinion they're pretty important because I need to touch them every day to use all the other stuff. They're both from Logitech. There's no real reason for that. The materials are all bloody amazing. My keyboard is mechanical, which means that it clicks all fancy and stuff. I also use the keyboard on my laptop pretty often and I don't have a problem with that one, so I don't really care anymore. I used to be a bit of a gamer and how much the keyboard clicked was really important, but that's not so important anymore. The mouse, however, is has a really special place in my heart because this thing just fits perfectly in my hand. Previously I had the same mouse with a cable and now I have the wireless one, and well, it just fits like a glove, but on the inside. And yes, all of the things have little lights in them. Yay! As I just told you, when I was younger, I used to be into gaming a lot more than I am now. I occasionally game still, but well, I don't really care about the PCs and all that sort of stuff. But I used to. So when I was about 13, I started building my first PC. And well, I still have a custom built PC and it's amazing. I upgrade it occasionally from time to time because well, I need to be able to edit stuff, and to edit stuff you need a good PC. So I'll put the specs up on the screen and maybe I'll do a whole video about my PC in the future if you're interested. But for now, let's move on. So now I finally get to talk about my favorite part of my setup, which is this webcam setup. So if you call me on like Teams or Discord, this is actually what you'll see and hear. Pretty amazing, right? How do you get there? Not with a simple webcam. This is my camera that I use for everything, my A7 IV, Sony A7 IV, connected directly to my PC via a little capture card, because my computer can't understand the signal that comes out of the HDMI port of my camera directly. So you need a little card in between to like translate it or something along those lines. Well, there's a lot more to say about this setup and how you record on your PC and stuff like that. Maybe that's something for another video. Moving on, I have this microphone right here, and you might notice that it's not a microphone that you usually see in setups like this. And it's because it's actually a microphone that is supposed to be on top of a camera. But this one in particular you can use with your PC. At some point I hope to get the infamous Shure SM7B, but it's really expensive, so maybe someday. As of right now I had this microphone laying around to use with my camera, and I just tried to use it here and it worked absolutely amazing. I think it sounds great. And one other feature that is just amazing for my setup in particular is the fact that you can use the port that I now use to record to plug your headphones into. Because if you connect the microphone to your PC, you connect it with the little USB-C cable. I'm now recording on a Zoom H1N, so that's not gonna work right now. But if I connect it to my PC, you still have this port left and you can plug your headphones into it. My headphones are the DT770 Pro from Biodynamic. They're just great for video editing and just when it comes to the audio quality. It's not meant for gaming or anything like that. One downside is that they get really warm, especially in the summer, obviously. All this stuff is hanging from this arm. And yeah, by the way, the reason that I love the fact that I can plug my headphones into this microphone so much is that this cable is stupidly long, and that I absolutely hate. But because it's on this arm, that's not a problem, because I don't need to loosen this cable, and so it can just always stay like this. Because before I had everything on this arm like this, my cable would be hanging over the floor and over my desk, and it's like fucking 2 meters or something. That's just way too much. And before I forget it, there is one more thing that really makes this shot look the way it does, which is the lighting. And because my setup is right up against the wall, I couldn't get any lights like behind my monitors. So I had to think of something else. And I came up with this idea to put a lighting tube up against the wall and aim it into the ceiling, which is white. And because it's like lighting up the ceiling, the whole ceiling becomes the light. And this way I can have a really small, low profile light that actually looks pretty cool hanging up there, and just get an amazing soft light source on my face. When I got the idea to get a light tube in that position, the first problem obviously was, well, how are we gonna hang that light tube in the right position? But luckily I got an amazing brother who is really good at 3D printing and stuff, so he made these custom hooks, and that's how this tube is just hanging here gloriously. I love it. The last item of my setup, these two speakers. And I basically only use these speakers if I'm not using my headphones. And I don't use my headphones in basically 2 cases. When I'm done wearing them, because, well, it starts to get sometimes annoying, especially in the summer when it's warm, or if there's someone else that also wants to hear the sound, then I also use speakers. But all the other times I use my headphones. These speakers are fine, they're from Logitech. The quality is a bit less than, for instance, my keyboard, and that's because, well, they cost like 40 bucks, which is not expensive at all. This headphone jack did break, but I don't use it because, as you just saw, my headphones are connected to my microphone. And well, otherwise they're just fine. One thing that's awesome is that you can also connect them to your phone. So if I want to listen music in my room, I just connect my phone to these speakers. And as you can see, the light just turned blue, which means that it's connected. Unfortunately for you, we have reached the end of this video. So if you want to see more of the things that I have in my room, like this board, well, let me know. Or if no one's interested, I won't show you, for fuck's sake. But with that said, if you have any questions, let me know. And thank you for watching. Until the next time. Bye.